Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking more Food and Wine Festival, and we're going to tell you how to do Food and Wine Festival on just $50 a day. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also be sure to hit that like button and be sure to hit that bell icon if you want to be notified every time we release a video on Mondays and Fridays. Food and Wine Festival is one of my favorite times of the year at Walt Disney World. I cannot get enough of it, and I would go so often if we lived there. It is so fun, but it is so easy for that money to get away from you. So we have a couple of tips on how to save money on food and wine, and then also how to do food and wine for just $50 a day. First tip is make sure to get one of these gift cards. It is on a little bracelet. This is actually a Flower and Garden Festival gift card, but it's the same concept for every festival. And you can load this gift card just like any other Disney gift card. You can also use it outside of the festival, so it's just a typical Disney gift card. How you save money is just pick how much money you think you're going to want to spend, and then just load that amount onto the card. Once you've already spent that money, you can go back and kind of gauge whether or not you want to reload it or whether or not you're good to go. We do this because it is really easy for money to get away from us at these festivals. It's really easy to spend $300 and not even realize it because you're going from booth to booth and you're just getting one little thing, and next thing you know you're $300 in for Food and Wine Festival, and that's a really expensive day even by Disney standards. So to do Food and Wine for just $50, I thought what a challenge and what a great idea, because you can get some really great things and not spend a ton of money. So that's what we're gonna do. Also remember that if you're not a huge eater but you wanna get a good sampling of things that are going on at the festival, you could always split these dishes. So these are pretty decent sized dishes that we're gonna talk about, and I think that you could easily do this for 2 people. Another one of our tips is not to make dining reservations on your Food and Wine Day, because you can go around and eat a ton of really great food from a ton of totally awesome countries, and you won't really need a dining reservation, but you'll feel obligated because if you cancel that dining reservation less than 24 hours before the reservation is to happen, you're gonna get charged a fee. So a really great tip is not to make any dining reservations on the day you're doing Food and Wine. Maybe grab a snack for breakfast when you first walk into the park, and then wait for those kitchens to open, which they all open at 11 o'clock, and then just start going. So that's another tip. But let's get started on how to do Food and Wine for 50 bucks. First, we're gonna start with the beer braised beef served with smoked Gouda mashed potatoes. This is a delicious dish, and smoked Gouda mashed potatoes, I'm already in. This is $5.25 and is also Disney Dining Plan snack credit eligible. It's a great size dish. You can definitely split it though, and a good way to get your Food and Wine Festival started off. Next, we're gonna head over to Brazil and we're gonna try the moqueca. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I tried. This is a Brazilian seafood stew, and it looks delicious, and it's in a coconut lime sauce with steamed rice. This is also going to be $5.25 and Disney Dining Plan snack credit eligible. Over in Canada, we're gonna grab the Canadian cheddar cheese and bacon soup, which is served with a little pretzel roll. This is super filling, especially on a really hot day in Disney, but it's absolutely delicious. It's one of the signature dishes that they serve at Le Cellier in Canada. You can also get the filet, but you're going to get a lot less food for a lot more money. But if you do want to go ahead and splurge, be sure to do that. But it is around $8 for that filet, and it really is a tiny little filet medallion. So just be aware that the portion size is not what it used to be on this dish if you haven't been for a couple years, and it is going to be a pretty small dish, but it does pack a great deal of flavor into that little dish. Next up, we're going to grab the baked shrimp scampi dip served with sourdough baguette over at Coastal Eats. This is $5.75 and is Disney Dining Plan snack credit eligible. There are a couple really great dishes over at Coastal Eats, but I think you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck with the shrimp scampi dip. Last year it was a decent sized dip. You got a couple big pieces of shrimp in there, and then you get that sourdough baguette. The one thing I will say is that it never comes with enough sourdough baguettes, so maybe ask for a couple extra. I'm not sure if they're going to charge you for that. I actually haven't asked for extra, but I do know that the dip to baguette ratio is a little off. So be sure to pile that dip onto your baguettes to get the most. Next, we're gonna head over to get the Steakhouse Blended Burger. This is a really awesome dish, and it's new for this year. It's a blended beef and wild mushroom patty. and then it's served with brie cheese fondue and then a truffle and blue cheese potato chip. I could just eat the truffle and blue cheese potato chips all day, but it's a really great dish. It's a ton of flavor, and you're going to get that for just $5, and it's Disney Dining Plan snack credit eligible. This is a really great deal. So this is one that I definitely wouldn't pass up. Definitely head over to get that dish because it's delicious. Now, no trip to Food and Wine would be complete for most people without a beverage, and so we're going to head over to France, and this is a little bit interesting. I know we're doing it on $50 and we're still gonna stay in budget, but the reason we're gonna grab the La Passion Martini slush with Grey Goose citron is because it's a really good sized portion for what you're getting. A lot of times when you get the wine at various booths, it's going to be a teeny tiny little glass. And so just be aware of that. That's typical, but you are going to spend quite a bit of money for a really tiny amount of alcohol. We are not advocates for getting drunk in Disney. We do still want to get a lot of bang for our buck, and I think that this is something you could definitely share, and you get a lot of slushy for $10, and it's one of the most popular items at Food and Wine Festival every year. So that's over in the France Pavilion, and even though it's $10, I really think you're getting a big bang for your buck with this dish. Well, with this drink. Next up for me, no trip to Food and Wine would be complete without the passion fruit cheesecake with macadamia nuts from Hawaii. This is one of, if not my favorite dish in all of Food and Wine Festival, and it's only $4 and is Dining Plan snack credit eligible. This is such a great deal. It's a decent sized cheesecake, and it just packs a ton of passion fruit and tropical flavors into one dish. I highly recommend it. If you haven't tried it, definitely recommend giving this one a shot. Last but not least, we're gonna head over to Shimmering Sips, which is one of the new booths for this year. This is the mimosa bar that is located in the festival center. One of the reasons we're gonna head over here is because you're going to get a full-sized drink glass. As I mentioned before, I just don't recommend getting a ton of those tiny little samples. Again, this is your vacation, you do you, so we're just trying to get the biggest bang for our buck for $50 on this video. But over at Shimmering Sips, you can get a variety of different mimosas and types of mimosa mixed drinks for just $6. And so that's going to be our final stop for today. There are a couple different ones you can get, and all of these are $6. You can get the Fromosa, which is a frozen version that is served with a White Claw lime hard spritzer, or seltzer, so it's kind of a sparkling alcoholic drink. It's like a LaCroix or one of those flavored sparkling waters, but it's got a little bit of alcohol in it. And then, so that's $6, and it's really good, and it's frozen, which would be perfect on a hot Disney day. Also, I think the Madras one sounds really good. It's got cranberry and the sparkling wine and then orange juice, so it's also going to be really pretty because those colors are always really pretty together. And my personal favorite, the one that I'm probably going to be trying, is the tropical mimosa. It's sparkling wine, pomegranate, orange, and grapefruit juice, and that's the one I think I'm really going to want to try. I think it sounds delicious, but again, that's $6. So there you have it. We've just done Food and Wine for less than $50, and we got 8 dishes, well, 8 items, so 6 food dishes and 2 alcoholic drinks, and those alcoholic drinks totaled about $16, but by Disney standards that's not too bad, and both of those are going to be full-size drinks, so that's one of the reasons I recommended them. I would love to know what some of your favorite things at Food and Wine are, and if you've ever tried to do Food and Wine Festival on a budget, or if you've ever gotten carried away and left and not realized how much you spent. Let us know in the comments what some of your thoughts are on the dishes that we chose, and some of your thoughts on your favorite dishes at Food and Wine Festival this year. Thank you for stopping by, and for the love of the mouse, never forget that it all started with a mouse.